Aqib, it's back on. Well, you get to finish what you didn't quite start.
Yeah.
Everything okay now?
Yeah, mate. Back in the gym and seeing back. You know what? I think like when I'm in camp and training for the fight, life just feels better anyway. So I'm glad just to be back in, and everything starts feeling better once you're back in the gym anyway, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, but you, I mean, I spoke to you literally a few days before you went down there, and you felt great. Everything was great. You weighed in. You felt all right. It was straight after the weigh-in, was it?
Yeah. Just feeling sick and just not right. And Jamie, I can lie to Jamie as much as I want. He was looking at me and he was like, "I know you're lying." And you know when someone just looks at you and you know you're lying. And
yeah.
I was saying I'm fine, but obviously I wasn't. And to be fair, looking back, it's probably the right thing that happened. To be fair, best decision Jamie made for me really.
Well, obviously he knows because he's been into fights himself when he's not been 100%. And how far off being 100% do you think you were?
Well, like you say, obviously you don't really know, do you? Because we didn't end up getting in the fight. But like, I probably would have been nowhere near even 50% of myself.
Right.
But I was still confident. Like even it's crazy.
I know
as it sounds,
you said to me, yeah.
Crazy as it sounds, and you can ask obviously. Steve Wood messaged me that night at the hospital and I said, "Let's get it on next week." I was gutted, but obviously it's been rescheduled and we're fighting. So.
Well, I think Eddie said something good about it because even though he was upset, that the fight didn't go ahead, I think people want to see this fight now because everyone expected, this just to be another kid fed to a young matchroom fighter. But it's not. This is a genuine, a real test for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think what's happened makes it any bigger, really. I think.
Yeah, but I think people understand it a bit more now.
The situation becomes a bit bigger, but the fight is still the same fight. He's still the same fighter. I'm still the same fighter. We get in the ring and we see what happens. You know what I mean? It's not like It's not like me. I've never feared anyone. Do you know what I mean? In the ring. So, that aspect is why it's a bigger fight. People think, oh, was he scared? Was he not? And people that know me,
so
people that know me know it.
Down's been thrown and cast away. Did he bottle it? And
exactly.
It wasn't like you say, it was Jamie that made that decision.
Yeah, and if they think I am, then they'll have a shock, on the night.
Well, how long after? I mean, what was it? We're not sure of the date yet. We was told it could be Sunday the 27th, or it could be a week later.
Yeah.
So either of those dates. How long was it after? Because it was the 7th. Was it the 7th or the 8th?
Yeah, 7th of August.
7th of August. How long was it after that? Were you back in the gym?
Well, I had because obviously Carl was fighting the week after, so Jamie and Nigel were down there, weren't they? That week. I did a few runs and stuff. I still like even the week after I was in here on the Monday. It's really hot in here, isn't it? So
I'm sweating. I've got a t-shirt on there.
Exactly, and
all I was doing was carrying a camera.
Exactly, and I was still getting a bit, lightheaded and stuff, and a bit, not right. But then after it took me about 10 days to get back to normal, whatever you call normal, that is. Because I'm definitely
normal for a fighter.
Yeah, and yeah, that was it really. But obviously, I wasn't like unfit because I didn't really have loads of time off or anything. I was still running, keeping myself fit, and then after 10 days, I'd say I was back at where.
And obviously you're in great shape, and like I say, we were 3 or 4 weeks away, and you've still got your cheekbones, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is what it is, and obviously it's not an ideal scenario. It wasn't a good situation, and I was heartbroken. What is it, a 4 or 5 hour drive home from London?
I know, yeah, it must be horrible. I wouldn't want to be in that car that day.
Yeah, I must have cried 4 hours for the journey, you know what I mean? But obviously, it's upsetting. It's an upsetting thing, isn't it? And we've done all that work, and obviously, I know Kane was upset, and everyone felt sorry for him. But just because I wasn't on camera crying, it was hard for me as well. And yeah, I was one that was ill, and it was my fault that the fight went on. But look, we've got it on, so I don't see what anyone's problem is. And on the night, the best
a slightly bigger fight. I think you're gonna have a slightly bigger audience now because everyone wants to see this. And as I say, Eddie said, people know a bit more about this and know and understand that this is a proper 50-50 fight.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And best man will win, and that's it.
And we're going to cut this short because you're chomping at the bit because we've got Charlie Edwards down here and Dalton Smith sparring with your teammates.
Yeah, some good sparring going on. So that's it. I mean, watch and learn. And
is Chantal going to be fighting on the Chantal Cameron's going to be fighting on the same night?
I think we're on the same night, and fingers crossed she's fighting for a world title hopefully. So it'll be a big night for the gym.
Could be a very big night.
Yeah.
Alright mate, listen, good luck for whether it's the 27th or the week afterwards. And next time I see you, hopefully you'll be 6-0.
Cheers, nice one, mate.
Take care, mate. Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.